Hello and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Jason Naxted from Aktion Associates, and we'll go ahead and get started. Today's presenter is Rob Dallas of Aktion, and today's Rob is addressing the limitations of QuickBooks for your business and financial reporting and how to move to Infor CloudSuite distribution can enhance your business and help you succeed in the future. After Rob's presentation, we'll have a quick poll for you to take and time for Rob to answer any of your questions you may have. So Rob, if you're all set, I will go ahead and turn it over to you.
Great, thanks. So as Jason said, my name is Rob Dallas. I'm a senior distribution solutions consultant. Been working with Infor distribution products for over 25 years with 12 plus years as a solutions consultant with CloudSuite distribution. As far as our agenda goes today, we are going to start by discussing distribution industry trends. Then I have a quick slide. I want to touch on some of the CSD, CloudSuite distribution, versus QuickBooks, compare and contrast, if you will. Then Infor distribution ERP solutions. Then I'm going to spend most of the time in a quick demo, probably about 10 to 15 minutes. And then a few slides about who Aktion is and the Aktion difference. And then we'll have about 5 minutes at the end that I try to save for some Q&A. So Infor is the author or the manufacturer of the software. You can see here their strong micro-vertical expertise there on the left. It's important to note that they are now the third largest ERP company in the world. And really what I want to stress is that they're trying to be leaders in technology and innovation. So not only increasing the distribution depth of the product, but also increasing the layer of technology and taking advantage of technology to make users as efficient as possible. So let's talk about what might be missing in QuickBooks, right? Compare and contrast the platforms. It definitely has limited scalability. It struggles to handle the growing volume of transactions and inventory management as the wholesale distribution business expands. As far as inventory challenges, it has difficulty in managing complex inventory, including multiple warehouses, batch tracking, serial number tracking, etc. Expirations on lots, managing multiple locations with a distribution center. It lacks real-time visibility into stock levels, which can lead to overstocking or stockouts. It has insufficient order processing. So manual order entry and fulfillment processes can become very time-consuming and error-prone. And difficulty in managing back orders and handling order changes efficiently. So when that inventory comes in, who gets notified or how is that process handled to ship those goods to the customer that's waiting for them? In contrast, so CSD offers many advanced features, including scalability. It was designed from the ground up for large companies with multiple locations, processing thousands of orders a day, but it can grow with your business as you evolve. Data-driven decisions, so powerful analytics and reporting tools. Again, taking that data that you have and turning it into useful information so you can make those critical decisions. Customer-centric, so keep customer pricing commitments and easily update pricing commitments. So if your costs go up, how do we automatically update those costs, maybe electronically through an import of an Excel file from your vendor? And then how do we automate the updating of your pricing arrangements on your customers? Cloud advantage. A couple different advantages or multiple advantages to being in the cloud. One, you're always current. You're always running the latest and greatest version. So you take advantage of all the latest features, none of those costly and very time-consuming upgrades every 4 or 5 years. And it's easy to access from anywhere. It truly is device independent. So whether you're on a desktop at your office or a laptop, or at home or traveling on a laptop, tablet, even on a smartphone. As long as you have cellular or Wi-Fi connectivity, you can get in and access your CloudSuite distribution. Very strong integration capabilities with that layer of technology that I mentioned, which is called Ion, the middleware. So seamless integrations with other applications. So maybe there's a third-party point-of-sale system that you really love that you want to keep, or your own e-com system that you've invested a lot of time and money into. It's very easy for us to connect those systems into CloudSuite distribution based on the technology that comes with the system out of the box. So why Infor CloudSuite distribution? As I mentioned, you're always current with the latest capabilities. And what does that give you? Growing customer expectations, right? Why are people changing to this? Because customer expectations are growing. So we have to increase customer service via transparency, accuracy, and speed. Increase sales by enabling customers to buy the way they want to buy. Increase sales by expanding into new markets through digital sales channels. New revenue streams for profitable growth. Increase revenue and profits through supporting new business models and processes. Differentiation through value-added services. Many distributors we're finding are adding service or even sometimes rental to their processing as being a distributor to, again, separate themselves from the big box retailers or online retailers. Control costs and drive profitability. Of course, that's one of the greatest challenges that distributors face, trying to stay as lean as possible. So detailed and accurate costing information for tighter management of margins, automation of non-value added tasks, and better decision making, again, with the analytics insights. Advanced supply chain management. So increased forecast accuracy to better manage inventory levels. More accurate order promising for improved customer satisfaction. Improved warehouse productivity, space utilization, and inventory accuracy. So again, letting the system help you determine what to buy, when to buy, and how much. And if we were going to go with a WMS system, let's automate some of that picking, receiving, processing. Let the system suggest where to put that inventory in the warehouse. So again, make your warehouse as efficient as possible, just as you are in the back office. Keeping up with the pace of change. A platform that supports change and innovation. Again, it's constantly changing and growing with you to meet the changes in new technology. Cloud solution helps protect against silver tsunami, right? And able to lean into 4.0 technology to transform businesses and provide better service and differentiation in order to compete. So what's included in your subscription to CloudSuite distribution? Of course, all the core capabilities that you would expect. So that's this top section here is all included out of the box. So all of your sales management, processing, quoting, order entry, invoicing, pricing, all of your inventory management, demand planning, forecasting, procurement. The advanced inventory management is by far the strength of CloudSuite distribution and what I think separates it from other cloud-based solutions. Real-time accounting system, in part of the core product, proof of delivery, and others as well. But in the center here, you see optional capabilities. So we can add these a la carte at the beginning, or as your business continues to evolve and grow, we can add these as needed. So the WMS system I mentioned, maybe full-blown e-commerce, we have a few options there. I touched on service, right, that many distributors are adding. Infor CRM to manage your opportunities and your pipeline, as well as rental. Right? And all of this sits on what's called the Infor OS, Infor Operating Services. And this is that layer of technology that's included with CloudSuite distribution. So what's included? Coleman AI, right? True machine-based intelligence. Right? So you're able to say, okay, what POs are late? And the system will respond in kind, right? Without having to navigate in and drill into a certain inquiry or look for a specific purchase order. Workflows and alerts. So being able to define what happens when a specific business event occurs, who gets notified, who gets tasks, and those can be parallel tasks where multiple people receive them, and as soon as one of them resolve those tasks, it's automatically removed from the others. Document management. Full-blown document management system is included with your subscription. So now we can digitally store those documents that today maybe you have in a metal file cabinet. If you have multiple locations, you're aware of how difficult those are to share across the enterprise. And all of it sits on Amazon Web Services, AWS. All right, at this point, I am going to share my screen. And jump into CloudSuite distribution. Okay. When a user lands or connects into CloudSuite distribution, they land on what's called a home page. Typically, these are defined by user or by role. As you can see here, I have some analytics at the top of my home page. So this would be for a customer service type user. And there are many different widgets. And again, these come as templates out of the box, but you can update these and change these as needed. So here I maybe want to do some processing right from my homepage where I can look up a customer, maybe even cut a product and see customer specific pricing. So if I want to, let's say, look up Northern Supply, again, without jumping into the ERP, just something quickly I want to do, and I want to see what their price is on an LED light, I can quickly do that type of processing right here from my homepage, right? And I can see that their today price is $80. I can see additional information, maybe invoices, open orders. Again, information or alerts that would be relevant to a customer service rep. And I can see my inbox, my tasks, my notifications, as well as being able to manually fire off workflows. I mentioned that workflows can be automated, that are kicked off by a business event, but you can also kick them off. So maybe manually. So maybe you want to follow up with a customer or track a freight charge, a freight claim that you may want to do. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and jump over into the CloudSuite distribution ERP. Right? This is where we do all our ERP processing. And you see now we have, again, a nice system-wide search. So you're not relegated to just a modular search. So we can type something in and get it hits from all over, whether it be inventory, sales, invoicing customers, right? Navigating is very intuitive to where I could drill in and go right into a customer inquiry. So I'm looking at this account. So let's say in our sales scenario, the account has called or reached out to us. We are looking up the status of that account, but then they also want pricing and maybe the status of an open order, and then they're going to place an order. So now if we look into this account, we see that, again, we have some nice analytics, their sales history, maybe their credit position, credit information. Then notice these subtabs at the top, because I may also want to see their period balances by ship to, which I can get to. Okay, so we navigated from the search result right into customer inquiry, and notice it just opened up another tab within CloudSuite distribution. You can have as many of those tabs open as you want. It's still just one user license. You're also able to navigate via menu, of course. Right? Okay. And a user only sees the functions that you've given them based on their security. There are access codes that you can type in or just type in what you're trying to do. It makes navigating very easy to learn. And of course, in our workspace menu here, we can have bookmarks. So again, the functions that you utilize most frequently, you may want to have listed here so it quickly go right into that specific function. So I can go right into customer inquiry. And this time, I haven't looked up that customer. The reason I wanted to show you this is because whenever you select a field, it remembers what you had been working with. So again, it goes to my point about making users as efficient as possible. So now we can select Northern Supply, and I'm right back where I was in that inquiry. Okay. So let's say we've evaluated the account. Now they do, we're in contact with them and they have a question about pricing. So let's go into the pricing inquiry. And again, it could remember what I'm working with, or I could enter in anything related to the account that I may know. And that could be their name, part of their name. It could be a phone number, a zip code. Anything that you can start typing in, really almost anything whether it's an address, zip code, phone number, company name, contact's name, you can start narrowing down your search results. And that goes on the product side as well. So if I wanted to look up a grill, and I get many hits, but if I added built-in, similar to Google, you're going to see any hits that contain both those words, right? And I like because I get to see product availability as well here before I drill into an item. So now I see, again, a nice view of this item. I see a product image. I see current availability at my default location. I see the list price of this item. I see this customer's net price, so their price today, going through our contracts and pricing records. But also, maybe I want additional information. So what I want to show you is a smart panel over here on the right. And now I can open this up and see these additional widgets. It could be a widget into document management, maybe notes, activities that I may have for this account, my reports, my contacts pertaining to this account. And these widgets are intelligent, meaning they're dynamic and they're monitoring what you're doing over here on the left, and they're changing the information they're providing with. So it knows we're looking at customer 3020. I just have a logo, but maybe you want to have their credit application or tax exempt form. But if I want to see related information to the item I'm looking at, I can quickly go see that product image or that spec sheet. Okay? So wherever you are in the system, again, you have access to the smart panel. And we can expand it. You can make it larger. We can make it full screen. You can even open it up on a secondary monitor if you have one of those environments. So again, it's just additional information. It's one click away. So now we've given the customer their, their price, right, of today. And let's say they want to look up an open order. So in this case, I'm going to go into order inquiry. And maybe you know the order, but in most cases, you're going to need to do a search. So I'm going to go into my search. Notice how it's very simple and clean. It's one of the goals that Infor strives to. If we don't need all the fields present, let's just hide them because we can always enable them at any time. Because maybe I want to find this order based on different information, such as maybe the entered or invoice date, right? A range, maybe by product, or maybe by reference field, or maybe by transaction types. Okay? And again, notice because of the technology, the underlying technology in the browser UI, notice it just redesigned the layout, my user experience. So you really can tailor that user experience to what you desire as a user of the system to make you as efficient as possible. You can have save searches, again, maybe by sales rep. You want to see your open orders, open quotes, maybe by job. In this case, I'm going to search just by customer PO. And notice I get multiple hits here. One thing to point out is you always have the ability when you see a hyperlink to drill it down or across. Again, more information right at your fingertips. I could drill right down into that inquiry to see that customer information. I also can drill down into the details of this order. I see some analytics. I see, again, what stage this order is in, but more importantly, I could jump over and see the detail of the order. And all of the list views and search results have this nice grid. I can sort this by any column that I need to. Again, remember all the hyperlinks. I could drill in multiple different inquiries right from this list view. You can export it to Excel. You can even turn on filtering right here within the view because maybe in this large order, I quickly want to see my tab extensions. So that's any column and any grid. You have this great filtering capability. Okay, so let's say now we've given them the information, a stage, we know when it's due to ship possibly, or maybe they're, just wanted general information regarding the order, but they realized they didn't send us their customer PO. So what I'm going to do is they emailed the PDF to me. I'm just going to quickly go grab that PO, drag and drop it into the document management widget. And now it knows, okay, what is this? It's attached to the header. And in this case, it happens to be a purchase order. And with a simple click, now I can add that document digitally. So now it's filed in CSD in the document management system. And now whenever anyone's looking at this order or editing or maintaining the order, they'll have quick access to any documents pertaining to this order, as well as a full-blown document management interface where they could interact with this document as well. So let's say now we've given them information pertaining to the order, to pricing, and now thankfully they want to place a new order or a quote. Again, it doesn't matter, you enter it in the same place. So we're going to go into order entry, and it remembered the customer we were working with. So again, are we entering a stock order or it could be a quote? Again, the interface is exactly the same, just different things happen behind the scenes. Typically, you're entering a new order, maintaining an existing order, or canceling an order. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new order. Notice the layout orientation is left to right. So I have my header information or banner over here on the left, product selections in the middle, and then my shopping cart or footers over here on the right. There are different ways to find products, which I'll toggle between, but I have set my default. So every time I go in, this is how the interaction looks like, or the UI. It's called easy entry. So I can look for, let's say, LED lights. I like it because it resembles to me what a user sees in let's say Amazon, right? Or an e-com site, consumer grade experience. I did pictures, description, availability, this customer's today price. And again, that's going through any of your contracts or pricing records. And what I like is now I can actually, maybe I get multiple hits that this customer is interested in. So you can go through and set the quantity for multiple items. And then with one singular action, add all of those items to the order. And if you were finished with the order, you could quickly hit finish and get out of this order in 3 or 4 seconds. It really is built for speed. But maybe now your customer says, I want to buy something that I purchased a few weeks ago or months ago or years ago. So I'm going to jump into another interface called shopping. And I can shop by many different lists. In this case, I'm going to drive off of past sales. Okay? And for what time period? So in this case, I'm going to do 2019. Now the system is going to produce a simple list of everything that this customer purchased within that time period. So you're going to see each item listed once. See current availability, this customer's today price, this quantity recommended. It's the last quantity they purchased from you, gives you the opportunity to upsell. Last purchase date, purchase price, images, margin, cost information, if the user has security to see that information. And any of these columns, again, this is a grid, so it can be rearranged to your preference. So some of that information, like cost and margin, is more relevant to you. Then, of course, you would just pull that over maybe next to price. You can do a search here. We can sort by any column. You could turn on filtering. But what's great is this is actually an order pad. So when you find those items that the customer is interested in, either with your mouse, or I could use my arrow keys and carriage return, set the quantity for multiple items. Again, now with a singular action, you can add multiple lines to the order. Okay? Or maybe you have promotional products that you're trying to push. Okay? Maybe dead stock. So that would be a separate list that you may want to drive from. Okay? Another interface I quickly just wanted to show you is here under advanced entry. This probably resembles what you're used to in a typical system. Notice how nice and clean it is, but again, there's additional fields over on extended if you need to get to those, and any of these fields could also be moved to this window as well. We can enter in a stock, non-stock line, special order, or let's say I wanted to enter in a frame, select my item, and in this case, when I add it to the order, we happen to have it configured so that we want to offer the customer, do they need any belting or hardware to go along with it? So in this case, or rollers. In this case, yes, they want a couple of these items, get set what the quantity is. Maybe in this bottom here, we'll leave the quantity as 1. And now again, when I hit submit, all 3 of those line items are added to the order. I mentioned anytime we could get out of the order, but maybe you want to look at the taxes and totals, right, for this order, or maybe you want to collect payment. And again, that can be a deposit that stays with this order. It could be multiple payments or multiple payment types. And we have fully integrated credit card processing that meets all the latest federal PCI compliance. So that way it's tokenized. None of the credit card information stays in your system. But again, I may just want to hit finish, goes through our rules, of course, credit check, maybe margin tolerances for this user if we're letting them manipulate pricing, and then it goes on account. All right, so we place the order for this account, but maybe as a sales rep now, I just want to look at some analytics, maybe pertaining to that account or sales history, or maybe just for me, right? So what I'm going to do now is go back into my navigation panel and jump into reporting and analytics. Okay? And now where I land in here is my user's homepage for analytics and reporting. I can have alerts set up, information that's important to me, whatever that might be. Right? I can have my bookmarks that I want. I can have favorites. I can have reports or dashboards that have been shared with me from coworkers. But what I want to do is quickly just drill into a sales rep dashboard, right, and review some of this analytics, this information. Well, and notice I don't have very good information here. So let's change the time period, right? Go back. Let me just do it for some historical purposes here. Let's go back to 19 and 20 for my demo data. Right now we have some better information, illustrations here. So I can see the sales dollars year to date, profit dollars year to date, gross margin, right? As well as today information. But then some widgets broken out by sales categories, by sales rep. Right? In this case, maybe it would just be filtered out to your specific being a sales rep, right? Filtered out on your own identity. Customer metrics, right? How are my sales trends doing? Customer type, top 10 growth customers, where are products going? Many different analytics related to products, top product categories that I may have. But what I quickly want to do is let's drill into my sales dollars. And again, if I want to drill this into, let's say, my demo time period, I can change it for any time frame that I may want. I can now see, okay, how am I doing in those different product categories? Okay. And maybe I want to drill in, and see that by customer. Or maybe I want to see that again by specific, maybe I want to add in additional ways to view this data, right? So I want to do a nest. So in this case, now I want to see, let's look at it by product. And then what I want to do is start from the top down is I'm going to drag up customer, and then maybe below customer, let's drag up product category. So very easy to use, drag and drop. Now I see by customer, can drill into this account and see what grills they purchased over that time period, right? In this case, it's current year versus previous year, what that variance is, but I could change that to any other number of date ranges or periods as I mentioned. Okay. Now let's go ahead and look at, let's say, different product categories that I want to review. And maybe I want to select a few different ones. So let's select grills, maybe connectors, and supplies. Because as you know, it's much easier to increase sales to current customers than it is to find new business. So let's see where we don't have business, because these categories are typically bought together. So I want to go in and look at a matrix and say, wow, we do have sales in grills or not in grills, but we do in the connectors. Why aren't they buying from one another, in the same categories? And if I want to see what customers do that, well, now I can see which customers are buying one product category, but not buying the other. And typically they should have sales in both because of the type of industry they're in. Again, now it's a view of that data. Now it gives me an idea of what I need to go chase to increase my sales. And obviously there's a lot more here. Quickly, if I just go into a favorite, again, these are some of the reports that I have as favorite that come as part of the predefined content. Maybe I want to see my invoices that are over 90 days old. And again, I could filter out on any field, whether that be by customer. I could add additional fields, lots of flexibility to get in and slice and dice that data. Okay, so let me go back here and stop sharing and jump back into my PowerPoint. And so why Infor? Why CloudSuite distribution? Again, Infor is very distribution focused. This is their flagship distribution product going forward. And as I mentioned earlier, they're really striving to not only add the depth and breadth to the distribution product, but also leveraging technology and innovation. So who are we at Aktion? We have over 220 employees servicing over 6,500 customers. We're a national ERP software reseller, IT infrastructure provider focused on the architectural engineering and construction, real estate, distribution, and manufacturing industries. 2 company-owned data centers, top 20 VAR in North America, and a 2023 Top Workplace Award. You can also see some of the other recognitions we've received in the past couple of years. What makes Aktion unique? Well, we are Infor's largest partner, but we also partner with other leading technology providers to transform business operations for all of our customers. We deliver high-value consulting, implementing best practices and innovative technology solutions. And for ERP implementations, our proprietary lean implementation process ensures a successful go live. Okay, so with that, I think I have about 30 seconds left. Jason, I will throw it back to you. Did we have any questions?
All right. Yeah, thank you to everyone who attended. We have a poll you can take it coming up in a little bit. Also, thank you to Rob, seeing as we're now coming to the end of the webinar. If you have any questions, go ahead and submit those, and we'll get those taken care of for you. Once again, thank you for everyone for attending today's webinar. This will be recorded, so if you think there's anything you may have missed from Rob's detailed report, please check back to our website at aktion.com to watch at your convenience. Thank you again for being an Aktion customer, and we will see you next time. Also, here's a quick link of CSD feature video library for you to check out for all the Infor CSD videos you may want to get your hands on. Have a nice day, and we will see you next time. Thank you, Rob.
Yep. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.